There are certain connections in life that don't announce themselves loudly. They don't arrive with dramatic confessions, big gestures, or perfect timing. Instead, they quietly build themselves through small moments, the kind that are easy to overlook but impossible to forget once you start noticing them. And one of the clearest signs of a deep emotional bond is the way someone finds comfort in you without even realizing it. Men, especially, rarely express this comfort openly. They don't always use words to talk about their feelings. Instead, their emotions slip through in the tiniest behaviors, a soft smile they didn't mean to show, a glance they thought no one saw, or a deep breath they didn't know they were holding until you walked into the room. These moments say more than any long speech ever could. When a man feels comfort in your presence, it changes the way he moves, thinks, and reacts around you. His energy softens, his walls lower, his guard disappears piece by piece. He doesn't perform, impress, or pretend. Around you, he simply is. And that simplicity is the foundation of genuine emotional closeness. You might notice how he relaxes when you're near, how his shoulders drop, how his eyes settle. You might see how he listens with real attention, not distracted, not distant, but fully present. Or how he checks in on your mood without waiting for you to speak. These aren't accidental actions. They are emotional reflexes, instinctive reactions shaped by how safe he feels with you. Comfort isn't about excitement or intensity. It's about peace. The peace he feels when your voice calms his mind, when your silence feels warm instead of awkward, when your presence feels familiar even on difficult days. It's the way he drifts toward you in a room full of people, or how he shares his worries with you even when he hides them from everyone else. What he feels with you might confuse him at first. Men aren't always taught to recognize emotional connection. They are taught to stay strong, stay silent, stay guarded. But when he finds comfort in you, his heart begins to trust before his mind can label what's happening. That trust reveals itself in how naturally he opens up, how deeply he listens, and how often he turns to you when life feels heavy. This kind of comfort is rare. It's gentle, it's subtle, but it's powerful. Because when a man feels emotionally safe with someone, everything about him changes in the presence of that person. His eyes, his voice, his body language, his conversations, and even his silences. And if you've noticed these signs, then you may already be someone who brings him the peace he didn't know he was looking for. This intro sets the foundation. Now, let's explore the signs, the small, meaningful ways he shows that he feels more comfort in you than he realizes. 1. He relaxes the moment you enter the room. Some men show their feelings in loud ways, but others reveal everything in the quiet shift of their energy. When a man relaxes the moment you enter the room, it's not just coincidence. It's a sign that your presence has become a source of emotional grounding for him. Notice how his shoulders drop slightly, how his breathing becomes softer, or how the tension he carried all day seems to fade just because you walked in. These are the subtle signals you can't fake and he can't control. Your presence doesn't demand anything from him. It doesn't judge, interrogate, or overwhelm him. Instead, it gives him space to be human, not perfect, not strong, not guarded, just real. And that kind of comfort is rare for men, especially those who are used to carrying everything alone. He may not say it directly, but his body language tells the truth. He trusts you emotionally in a way he doesn't trust many others. Your aura, your calm tone, your steady energy, all of it sends a message his heart understands before his mind does. Around you, he doesn't have to perform or hide. He can drop the armor he wears in the outside world. This kind of relaxation only happens when someone feels genuinely safe. When you walk into the room, you don't bring chaos, you bring relief. You bring warmth. You bring familiarity. And he finds peace in that simplicity. Whether he realizes it or not, you're becoming his emotional exhale, the moment his heart gets to rest. 2. He watches you with quiet admiration. Some men express their feelings through words, but others reveal everything through their eyes. In the quiet way, they observe the person who brings them peace. When he watches you with quiet admiration, it's because he's trying to take in the little details about you that others overlook. The way you speak, the way you smile, the way you move, even the way you think. He notices all of it, and not out of curiosity, but genuine appreciation. This admiration isn't loud or showy. It's soft, steady, and sincere. He isn't staring to make you uncomfortable. He's watching because he finds something comforting and beautiful in your presence. Maybe it's your calmness, your kindness, your expressions, or the way you make people feel heard. Something in you pulls him in, and he can't explain it with logic, only emotion. Quiet admiration is a sign of respect. He sees you as someone worth understanding, someone worth listening to, someone worth remembering. Men don't observe what doesn't matter to them. If he notices your new hairstyle, your mood shift, your tone, or even the smallest change in your day, it means your presence has become meaningful to him. He may not verbalize it, but every small glance reveals a deeper truth. You inspire him. You make him want to be gentler, more attentive, more present. You remind him that connection doesn't always need noise. Sometimes it grows in silence. His eyes tell the story his lips haven't spoken yet, that you hold a quiet space in his heart, and he admires you more than he knows how to express. 3. He shares his worries only with you. When a man begins to share his worries only with you, it's one of the strongest emotional signals you can ever receive. Men are often taught to be the strong ones, to hold everything in, to swallow stress instead of speaking it. So when he opens that guarded part of himself for you, not his friends, not his family, just you, it means you've become more than a presence in his life. You've become his emotional anchor. He isn't just talking, he's trusting. Every fear he confesses, every stress he unfolds, every hidden thought he shares is a sign that he feels safe with you in a way he doesn't feel with others. You're not just someone he likes. You're someone he believes won't judge him, won't dismiss him, and won't use his vulnerability against him. Your acceptance gives him comfort. Your responses make him feel understood. Your calm tone encourages him to go deeper. When he speaks, you don't interrupt or belittle. You hold space. That emotional safety becomes addictive for someone who's used to carrying burdens alone. He may tell you about his work stress, his fears about the future, the responsibilities he hides from others, or even the insecurities he never admits out loud. This is not just conversation. This is emotional intimacy. Men don't share their worries with just anyone. They share them with the person who feels like home. The person whose presence calms the noise in their mind. The person whose support makes everything feel easier. And if that person is you, then he feels comfort in you far more deeply than he realizes. 4. Your voice instantly calms his mind. There are moments when a man doesn't need solutions, advice, or even long conversations. He just needs the right voice to pull him out of the noise inside his mind. When your voice instantly calms him, it means you've become his emotional reset button, the sound he associates with peace. It doesn't matter whether you're speaking softly, laughing, or simply saying his name. Something in your tone brings him back to himself. Your voice has rhythm, warmth, and steadiness that his heart responds to before his brain even catches up. Maybe it's the softness, maybe it's the reassurance, or maybe it's the sincerity behind every word you speak. Whatever it is, your presence has taught his nervous system to relax the moment he hears you. This kind of connection can't be forced, learned, or faked. It comes from emotional alignment. Notice how he calls you when he's stressed, how he listens more carefully to you than to anyone else, or how he seems to breathe easier mid-conversation. These reactions aren't accidental. They're emotional truth slipping through his defenses. Your voice reminds him that not everything in life has to be a battle. It tells him he's not alone, that someone understands him without him needing to explain. You bring him a sense of stability he rarely allows himself to feel. Even a short "I'm here" from you is enough to quiet the storm in his mind. To him, your voice isn't just a sound, it's a safe place. A place where his heart stops running, where his thoughts settle, and where he feels human again. That kind of peace is rare, and when a man finds it in you, he treasures it more deeply than he ever admits out loud. 5. He feels safe sitting beside you. Safety isn't always about protection. Sometimes it's about presence. When a man feels safe sitting beside you, It means your energy gives him something the world rarely offers: peace. Not the dramatic, movie-type safety, but the quiet kind where he doesn't have to act stronger than he feels. Your presence doesn't pressure him, judge him, or expect him to be perfect. Instead, it allows him to simply exist without fear of being misunderstood. Notice how he sits closer to you than necessary, how he leans slightly toward you, or how his breathing slows when you're near. These tiny physical cues reveal how deeply his body trusts your presence. He doesn't have to pretend around you. He doesn't have to hide his flaws. He doesn't have to wear a mask. He just gets to be himself, raw, human, and real. For many men, emotional safety is far more intimate than physical attraction. The world teaches them to be strong, to stay silent, to carry burdens without showing weakness. But with you, he feels none of that pressure. You give him a space where he doesn't have to perform. He may not put it into words, but the comfort he feels beside you is a sign of emotional attachment. When he chooses to sit next to you instead of across the room, it isn't random. It's instinct. It's connection. It's trust. Being beside you calms his nervous system. It reassures his mind. It softens his heart. And he returns to that space again and again because it feels real, safe, and grounding. To him, sitting next to you feels like home, and nothing is more meaningful than that. 6. He opens up in ways he never does with others. When a man opens up to you in ways he never does with others, it's because you've touched a part of him that most people never reach. Men are often taught to stay guarded, to hide their pain, to swallow their emotions. Vulnerability doesn't come easily to them. So when he begins to share the deeper parts of his life with you, fears, insecurities, regrets, dreams, it's a sign that you become someone truly important to his emotional world. He trusts you with the pieces of himself he usually protects. You make him feel seen without judgment, heard without interruption, and understood without explanation. That combination makes you incredibly rare in his life. With you, he doesn't worry about being misunderstood or appearing weak. Instead, he feels safe enough to let the layers fall away. Pay attention to what he tells you. Does he speak about childhood wounds? What pressures he hides from others? Emotional fears he's never voiced before? These aren't casual conversations. They are emotional confessions. And he chooses you because you make him feel respected, valued, and accepted. The more he opens up, the more he connects with you on a deeper level. He begins to experience emotional clarity through you, something he may have never felt before. You become someone he associates with honesty, comfort, and truth. Men don't open their hearts easily, but when they do, it's because they feel something real, something meaningful, something safe. And if he's opening up to you in ways he never does with others, then you're not just another person in his life. You're becoming his emotional sanctuary, the one place where he doesn't have to pretend to be anything other than himself. 7. He notices your mood before you speak. There's a different kind of connection between two people when one can sense the other's emotions without a single word being spoken. When he notices your mood before you speak, it's because he has tuned himself to your emotional frequency. He pays attention to your expressions, your energy, your silence, and even the small changes in your tone. This isn't something men do casually. It's something they do when they care deeply and instinctively. Maybe you walk into the room a little quieter than usual, and he immediately asks, "Are you okay?" Or maybe he senses tension in your eyes and gently tries to lighten the moment. These reactions reveal an emotional awareness he doesn't have for everyone. He studies you without trying to. He feels you without needing clues. It's because he's invested, emotionally, mentally, and even subconsciously. Men don't always express their feelings directly, but they express them through attention. And his attention to your mood shows that he genuinely values your emotional world. He doesn't want you hiding pain. He doesn't want you feeling alone. He wants to be someone who understands you without asking you to explain everything. This awareness comes from connection, empathy, and affection. It means your presence matters enough for him to observe the details. It means he's emotionally present with you, even when he's silent. It means your happiness affects his own. When a man notices the shift in your energy before you utter a single word, It's because he feels connected to you at a level deeper than conversation. He sees you. He feels you. And your emotions have become something his heart naturally pays attention to, even without being told. 8. He smiles without realizing when you're near. There's something beautifully revealing about a smile that appears without conscious effort. When he smiles without realizing it the moment you come near, it's because your presence triggers a natural emotional reaction he can't control. It's not planned, it's not polite, and it's not forced, it's automatic. And automatic reactions are the most honest ones. Maybe it's a small half smile, maybe it's a soft grin, or maybe it's that slight upward curve of his lips he tries to hide. Whatever form it takes, it shows that being around you brings him genuine joy. Men don't smile unconsciously for just anyone, only for someone who makes their heart feel lighter. Your presence may remind him of comfort, warmth, or familiarity. Maybe you make him feel understood or accepted. Maybe he finds peace in your energy or happiness in your voice. Whatever the reason, your presence activates a softer side of him he rarely shows. This kind of smile is powerful because it's pure emotion. It's his heart responding before his mind does. It's attraction mixed with calmness, affection mixed with relief. It's his body revealing a truth he may not be ready to verbalize. Pay attention to when it happens, when you walk into the room, when you call his name, when you sit next to him, or even when you simply look at him. Each time, something inside him lights up. That unconscious smile is his heart saying, "I'm glad you're here." It's a sign he feels something deep, something meaningful, something special. And he may not realize it, but every one of those effortless smiles is a confession, a quiet truth his lips reveal long before he ever finds the courage to speak it. 9. He trusts you with his vulnerable moments. For many men, vulnerability is not something they give easily. They grow up learning to toughen up, stay silent, and keep their emotions buried. So when he trusts you with his vulnerable moments, it means you've reached a level of closeness that goes beyond ordinary connection. You've become someone he feels emotionally safe with, someone he can be unguarded around. He might let you see him when he's stressed, tired, confused, or unsure of himself. He may share personal fears, past traumas, or insecurities he hides from the rest of the world. These aren't just casual conversations. They are emotional openings, small windows into his inner world that he rarely lets anyone see. Pay attention to how he behaves when he's having a hard day. If you're the first person he turns to, the one he calls, or the one he quietly sits beside, it means he feels something with you that he doesn't feel elsewhere. He believes you won't judge him, misinterpret him, or make him feel weak. Instead, your presence feels like a place where his heart can breathe. Men open up only where they feel respect and safety. And if he's trusting you with the moments he tries to hide from others, then he sees you differently, as someone who understands him, supports him, and accepts him even in his imperfect moments. That trust is emotional intimacy. It's connection. It's heart-level honesty. And it's one of the strongest signs that you're not just someone he likes. You're someone he deeply values, someone whose presence makes him feel safe enough to be fully human. 10. He feels peace in your silence. Silence is powerful. It can feel heavy with tension, or it can feel warm and comforting. When he feels peace in your silence, it means your presence alone brings calm to his heart. You don't need constant conversation, dramatic gestures, or overthinking to keep his attention. Simply being near you is enough. That kind of comfort is rare, especially for someone who isn't used to letting his guard down. He doesn't worry about filling the quiet moments when you're around. He doesn't feel judged, pressured, or misunderstood. Instead, the quiet between you feels like a shared space where both of you can breathe. He may sit beside you without speaking, and yet feel more connected than he does with people he talks to for hours. Your silence doesn't feel empty to him. It feels safe. It feels grounding. It feels like a soft pause in a world that constantly demands noise. Maybe you're reading, scrolling, or just sitting, but the energy between you stays warm and steady. Every peaceful moment tells him something deeper, that you don't require entertainment, perfection, or effort. You simply exist together, and that is enough. Men rarely find someone whose silence feels comforting rather than awkward. But with you, he feels understood without needing to explain himself. He senses your calmness, your emotional steadiness, and the quiet strength you carry. Being in that silence becomes a refuge for him. Your quiet presence gives his mind rest. His anxiety softens, his stress decreases, and his heart slows down. And he may not say it out loud, but he cherishes that invisible ease you bring. Peace in silence is a sign of emotional intimacy, and if he feels it with you, then your connection is much deeper than words could ever express. 11. He confides in you during stressful times. When life becomes overwhelming, most men retreat. They shut down, distract themselves, or pretend everything is fine. So when he confides in you during stressful times, it reflects an emotional trust he doesn't offer easily. Stress makes people vulnerable, and vulnerability requires safety, the kind of safety he feels only with you. He may share things he hides from everyone else: pressure at work, financial fears, family burdens, moments of self-doubt, or emotional exhaustion he usually masks. Each confession is a crack in the armor he spent years building, and he allows that crack to appear because he sees you as someone who will hold his truth gently. You become his sounding board, his comfort zone, his relief. He doesn't fear your judgment or think he needs to impress you. Instead, he believes you'll listen, understand, and care, not because you have all the answers, but because your presence makes him feel lighter. Your empathy, calmness, and emotional clarity soothe him in a way no distraction can. He might call you late at night just to talk. He might open up about situations he's been silently carrying. Or he might simply sit beside you and unpack his thoughts, piece by piece. These are not insignificant moments. They are emotional disclosures that show how deeply he trusts you. When a man confides in you during stress, it means you're not just someone he likes. You're someone he relies on. Someone who brings balance to his chaos. Someone who makes him feel seen when everything else feels overwhelming. Your presence becomes his safe place, and his willingness to share his inner struggles is a powerful sign that he feels emotionally supported, valued, and grounded with you in ways he doesn't experience with anyone else. 12. He mirrors your body language naturally. Mirroring is one of the strongest subconscious signs of emotional connection. When he mirrors your body language naturally, without thinking, without trying, it shows he feels aligned with you on a deeper, instinctive level. People mirror those they feel comfortable around, connected to, or drawn toward. So if he copies your gestures, posture, expressions, or pace, it's because his emotions are quietly syncing with yours. Maybe you cross your legs and a moment later, he crosses his. Maybe you lean in and he leans in too. Maybe you speak softly and he gradually matches your tone. These micro-behaviors are not conscious decisions. They are subtle, spontaneous reflections of emotional bonding. His body understands the connection before his words do. Mirroring happens when someone feels emotionally safe. When he doesn't feel judged or pressured, his guard naturally lowers, and he shifts toward your rhythm. It means your presence shapes his energy without him noticing. It means he feels comfortable enough to align himself with you physically, emotionally, and mentally. This behavior also shows that he's paying attention, deep, instinctive attention. Is attuned to your movements, your pace, your comfort level. It expresses respect, interest, and emotional closeness. The more comfortable he feels, the more naturally he mirrors you. And the best part? He doesn't even realize he's doing it. It's his heart reacting through his body. It's connection in physical form. Effortless, soft, and meaningful. Mirroring is one of the clearest signs that he feels emotionally close to you. It shows he enjoys your presence, values your energy, and unconsciously wants to stay connected. When someone mirrors you, it's because your presence resonates with them. And in his case, it means you've reached him in a way others haven't. 13. He looks for you in every crowd. When a man looks for you in every crowd, it means you become his emotional reference point, the person his heart naturally seeks before his mind even realizes it. This isn't just attraction, it's connection. It's instinct. It's the quiet way his eyes search for the one person who makes the world feel less overwhelming. No matter how many people are around, he scans the room to find you, almost like checking if his sense of comfort is present. He may not say it aloud, but you become the face he finds reassuring in chaos, noise, or unfamiliar situations. When he enters a gathering, he notices whether you're there. When you walk away, he subtly tracks your presence. When he can't see you, he feels a small pull, a need to locate you, even just visually. That's emotional attachment disguised as a simple glance. This habit develops only when someone truly matters. He looks for you not because he's needy, but because your presence makes him feel grounded. You're the calm outline in a blurry environment, the familiar energy in a room full of strangers. And even when he's surrounded by people, part of him is waiting for your smile, your voice, or your eyes meeting his. If he searches for you without thinking, it means you've become part of his emotional map. He wants to feel aligned with you, connected to you, anchored by you. His heart registers your presence like a soft signal of comfort. Looking for someone in a crowd is never casual. It's subconscious longing. And if he's looking for you, it's because you've become the person his heart hopes to see first and misses the most when you're not there. 14. He values your presence more than your words. Words matter, but presence matters more. And when he values your presence over what you say, it reveals a deeper emotional truth. You don't have to speak perfectly, impress him, or offer solutions. Simply being near him brings him comfort. Your presence becomes a warm energy he feels even before you talk. It's the quiet reassurance in the way you sit, the calm in your energy, the softness in your aura. He doesn't seek intellectual debates or long conversations just to feel connected to you. Instead, he cherishes the shared moments where you simply exist together. Even if the conversation is minimal, he still feels close to you. That's because he isn't attached to your words, he's attached to you. Your presence soothes him in a way no conversation can. He listens to the tone behind your voice, the emotion behind your silence, the steadiness behind your energy. This kind of connection is rare. It means he perceives you beyond your sentences. He feels your presence emotionally, not logically. Presence carries truth, safety, warmth, and authenticity. And he feels all of that when you're near him. He knows when you're happy, distracted, or tired, and still, having you beside him is enough. When a man values presence more than words, it means you've reached a part of him he doesn't open for everyone. You've become someone who brings emotional balance without effort. Someone who makes his heart relax without explanation. He doesn't need you to impress him with words. He needs you to simply be there. That tells him more than any sentence ever could. 15. He feels lost when you're not around. When he feels lost when you're not around, it's because your presence has become a quiet emotional compass in his life. You bring him clarity, grounding, and balance without even realizing it. When you're absent, he feels a subtle emptiness, not dramatic, but undeniably real. His thoughts feel heavier, his day feels less steady, and his energy loses its rhythm. That's how deeply your presence influences him. This feeling doesn't come from dependence. It comes from emotional connection, the kind that grows when someone becomes important in the small, everyday ways. He may function normally, but a part of him feels incomplete. He misses your voice, your calmness, your vibe. He notices your absence not because he's lonely, but because your presence has added something he didn't know he needed. You bring lightness to his stress, warmth to his mood, and order to his emotional chaos. When you're not there, the contrast becomes clear. He may check his phone more, think about you randomly, or feel a quiet longing he can't explain. Feeling lost without someone is one of the strongest signs of emotional attachment. It means he feels safe, centered, and connected when you're around, and that your energy aligns with his in a way no one else's does. You're not just someone he enjoys. You're someone who brings meaning, stability, and comfort to his emotional landscape. And when you're gone, even temporarily, his heart notices the shift immediately. His sense of ease disappears. His mind grows noisier. His day feels incomplete. That's what happens when someone becomes emotionally significant, Their absence is loud.